Please welcome Adam Hickman and Darla Morse to the stage.
Oh, you guys hear me? Yep, you got me loud. Well, I wanted to start with this. I got to stand over for a minute. So I would say, ladies and gentlemen of the HR jury, I don't want you to buy into what we're going to talk about. I want you to believe in. And a belief to where, if you've used AI, which I'm going to get to in a second, on how you're using it in your workplace today. So let's get you moving for a second. Stand up if you've used AI at all. Okay. I think I got everyone on that one. All right, have a seat. I'm going to get a couple more for you. Ready? Stand up if you've used AI and how you attract candidates to your workplace. Okay, this is where it starts to get harder. All right, have a seat. And if you could stand up if you've used it to retain your current staff that you have. All right, and the last one, the hard one. How about if you've used AI to help with your alumni or those that you've exited? And that usually silences everybody. Okay, last one. How many of you used AI to find out what the weather is, to roast your career, write a song about you? You could admit it. I'm not the only one standing here. Yeah, it's great. Okay, last one. How many of you have waited for that thing to pop this morning? I knew somebody else would catch it. Okay, I didn't know if it was part of the something was going on here or something. Okay, good. So, hi, I'm Adam Hickman. I'm our VP of Oregon and Employee Development. I've brought Darla with us as well. Darla, you want to do an introduction?
Yeah, I'm Darla Morse. I'm the Chief Digital Innovation Officer, so responsible for technology, and AI is a big part of that now.
So we wanted to talk a little bit about, from the HR side of things, how are we using this? And I always have to turn to Darla to say, are you all right with this? So you're going to hear back and forth here on what that is. So thinking of an attraction, and love to hear your perspective, what are you using AI with? Why use that for attraction? Great job description, right? Almost too good. And I'm sure if you've used it, you probably found those that were okay writers, and then overnight you're the most prolific writer in the world with so many verbs and nouns I've never seen it. Yeah, you're using it. Okay, what else are you using in attraction? Job description? Yeah, did you say assessment? Yep, good. Say again? Salary range? Oh, okay, interesting. I've not seen that one yet. Is it accurate? Everybody look right now. I don't. Okay, anything else? Validation. So you're doing a correlation between job demands and then what they say they can do. I was close. Interview. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so many uses you can have behind here. Here's a couple little things that we've used it for recently. If you've got a stack of resumes, how many love just sitting down, thumbing through the resumes? No? No, agreed. So why not use something like Notebook LM to create a podcast for you? It gives it a different spin on what that is, or better yet, if we've all worked within case study models, they're fantastic, but what if we gave it to you in another podcast model? Those are just two little ways. It doesn't have to be the driver to it, but will give us some indication on how our hiring managers are going to engage with this. And I think I heard this morning, 45-minute was the commute time. So if you've got a long commute time, why not listen to your top 10 candidates in a version of a podcast than just reviewing it? Darla, what would you say is our biggest risk related to that?
Yeah, I would say the biggest risk you have is the data. I mean, if you think about HR has the most PII-focused data. And so when you think about what Adam asked you, how many of you have policies on AI in your company? So everyone not raising their hand should go back right away and get a policy. When you look at the opportunity, if you look at AI as a module you can buy even on Amazon, most of these companies will say we can take all of your data that you put into this, because that's how they learn, and we can use it for anything we want. So if you don't have a policy against that, that is very specific about what you can put in there, what you can't put in there, but more importantly, how do you monitor and track it? Your companies could be at huge risk for lawsuits, but also from a data breach perspective, your most valuable data of your employees are in that environment, and people can get to that pretty easily.
Great. Good. Any thoughts there, reactions?
They're going to go write AI policies.
Yes, right. Cybersecurity has definitely entered into the conversation. Darla, anything you want to add to how that overlays with our work?
Yeah, I think with cybersecurity, you know, you look at AI and the things you can now do with it. And a lot of you have training at your companies where you have to go through cybersecurity training? Most of the training now you'll see focused on AI because they can replicate your boss, the voice. They can actually do an image. So they can conversate with you in a way different way than phishing used to be, and in a real, I mean, they can think they're actually talking to you on a Zoom screen or on a Teams screen. So if you look at cybersecurity, there is a tight correlation to AI opportunities, but I will tell you the bad guys, they're doing it full time, and they figured out this is a really big win for them.
Awesome. Another thing we've started to put practice in place is we know our HRBPs get hit with the most common questions, right? Leave of absence, maternity leaves, our Disney benefits of what's available to us. So our recent ask to Darla's team has been, how do you take away the most basic questions with an agent overlaid with our information to where we don't have to answer those anymore? If you've been in an HRBP seat or had those reported to you, you know that takes time to go look for that information. So just a quick and easy way for it. Has anyone in the room used the software called HeyGen? I'm going to give you lots of them, so here we go. HeyGen's been another one we've used in terms of, let's say I need to get a communication out to Darla's organization ASAP, but Darla's unavailable. Well, all I need is a prompt or a paragraph read from Darla and her face to overlay with AI, so it's not really Darla, it's Darla's AI version. Comes out quickly. The enhancement to this is if you're worried about translation, so far it's around 25 to 30 different languages. So I had the opportunity last year to go to South Korea, and I did my introduction in Korean on screen, and I don't speak any Korean. It was just the overlay of what that looks like. So if you think even in terms of communication, how fast, that's something we yet to explore and got into. The next piece is around Gamma, and this has been my latest request. Has anyone seen this one yet? I would say this one's on the front edge. Does anybody love to make PowerPoint slides? Okay, we got one person in the whole country that loves it.
She's for hire.
Yes, we all need to get a picture with you. Gamma takes out, if you're familiar with design documents, or even if you just prompt it, the slides that it creates, it's almost too good. And if I was a graphic designer, I'd be a little nervous at this point. But yep, Gamma, GAMMA.ai. And I am not a shareholder in any of these companies, by the way. But really good to use. Another one's Napkin AI. We've used that in terms of if we need to take a lot of text and turn it into a visual construct, that gives a great image and depiction of what we're trying to say, where we don't have to partner with somebody to try and come up with a really slick way of how to present that. However, here's where the kicker is. What's our greatest risk when associated with those things? I think IP.
Oh, yeah, the IP from your company. I mean, all those things are sitting out there for everyone to see and grab. And then they're going to use that for things that are not what you want them to use it for. So I would say your IP.
Yeah. Yeah, so in our HR practice, it's when we do the resumes, we change the names on resumes, obviously, to Disney characters. So, and Darth Vader has never been hired yet. We have tried so hard to get him to win. Any of our constructs, things like that, our gold is our data internally. It's not just our member data, but it's our employer data that goes along with it as well. As soon as I should say, as recent as this last Saturday, I got a text. How many of you got the text message on? You have Toll Road. We all got that one. Yeah. Anybody pay it? No. Okay. I'm just curious if somebody actually did pay that one. Similarly, I had one that reached out that was a direct report of Bob Iger, and they needed, Iger, that's right. But needed employee access, or he needed access to our employee data right now is such an emergency. So I was like, okay, Darla, what do you say? And an immediate no, of course, not tied to it. But what was interesting, it wasn't just text, it was a phone call. And they answered my call back. And then I got this morning on WhatsApp, another hit there, same person. So like the repetition just continues on with this. And we still haven't tied down to where it came from. The last part here, as we get close to time, in our exit, and I think this is usually where the bigger miss is at, is when they leave, it's not just exit interviews. And I've heard this spiel on, well, we do stay interviews. Fantastic. Okay. But what are you doing with that data once you have it? I want to say synopsis, or the things that we've gathered in clusters to find out what's been best, has been using our exit data on where are you going and why. Because one of the coolest things we've seen so far in use of this is everybody that's uploaded the resume in the ChatGPT, and let me get an idea. How many of you done that here? Okay, so you contributed to this. We've asked it to find out in a heat map, show us where the talent is in the United States. Let's say in 2026, that would fit this job. And be shocked on how fast that comes back to say, if we're going to stand up a job fair somewhere, we'll leverage AI to go find out where do we need to go put that out. Darla, anything in closing?
No, I would just say, the biggest thing in our probably technology innovation is AI. This is going to be, if you think of the last 5 years, what you're going to see in the next 2 years is going to way outpace that. So I would just say, if you haven't used AI, learn it, because I think there's a ton of value. But I would just say on the security side, just always be aware, because that is going to be the company's biggest risk.
Thank you.